Hey everybody, this is Mr. Afroman20, and welcome to a channel update for March 17th, 2012. Got some news for you about the test videos, how it's been going. I will definitely do that as another video today. Just to show you what I've learned and some issues that can be fixed that I have made in one of my recordings. I'll get to that later. And then let's see. I move on, and then I go to how the recording went for Sonic Adventure DX. I'm just gonna name some of the issues that have happened. Stuff like brightness and audio, and quality and audio. And let's see, brightness was one of the issues, and audio was an issue as well because it was my fault. I blame myself for the audio because I didn't do a good job with my commentary and stuff, but we'll get to that later. And then lastly, I have a paper of notes here. And as I said in a separate video, I'll just go through a game of probably like Luigi's Mansion. Yeah, it's a dark game. Yeah, I mean, it's a game that's full of darkness, so you probably need a lot of brightness to able to see everything. But once I've noticed a couple of tests on that game, there's some certain dark areas that you won't be able to see, and once you try to adjust it, well, actually no. What I meant was, if the chandeliers on the ceiling seem to be too bright, and if you adjust that, certain areas will be too dark for you to see. Like, there will be this cabinet in the background, and that will just be like a black wall or smudge or whatever, and you can't even tell what that looks like. I'll get to that in another test video. And I'll tell you what my plan was for the audio. Remember last week I said I was going to use 2 layers of audio, and I'll tell you what the results were for that. And I'd like to give a shout out to the people at my school, and this ended up being a funny story. I'll tell you about that lastly. First of all, let's start with the Let's Play footage. I've already recorded the first few parts with a co-commentator, not going to point out any names. The first issue was brightness. This camera that I'm using, which is the iPad 2, sorry about that, which is the iPad 2, it's the only HD camera that I have, really. I probably could use a better one, but this is the best I have right now. Plus I don't think I need to spend another couple $100 on another camera when I have this one with me. But anyways, brightness was its issue because certain parts of cutscenes, for some reason, the camera seems to disagree with the character's surroundings, and whenever it detects something that's too dark, it ups the brightness some. And that's kind of a bad thing, because if any of the brightness goes up, the character gets covered in complete brightness. So I have to adjust that by tapping certain parts of the screen like this to lower the brightness. As you see, I can easily adjust that just by tapping on the screen. But anyways, the point is that this camera seems to disagree with the character's surroundings, so it thinks everything around it is too dark and it needs to be shown in detail of its colors, and I don't understand why. I mean, in the background there was like a mountain whenever I was fighting a boss. You'll notice it when you play the video, but I was fighting a boss, and a certain part when I was using a maneuver to dodge the attacks, there was this mountain in the background, and for some reason the camera just decides to adjust the brightness at like full power and cover the whole screen in brightness. So I'm like, what the heck? I'm sorry, I apologize for that. So brightness was an issue, and I kind of blame myself for this because I should have done more testing of over quality before recording with this camera, or recording the game. And another thing is that I've done a bad job in commentary. It's not because my commentary is bad, you just can't hear me, that's the problem. And so here's the issue with the microphone. Yeah, I just had to do that. It picks up static noises whenever you boost up the volume at a certain level, so I have to boost the volume on my TV to like bar number 15, which is pretty loud, and I have to wear earplugs to keep my eardrums from bursting out. So, what was I saying? Just so I don't get a massive headache, I'll just say that. But anyway, and so I boosted up high so the static isn't noticeable whenever you're playing the video. However, I have to get up to the microphone and talk while you're listening to the game footage. I'm doing this now because, and here's the thing, my original plan was to use 2 layers of audio, one for one for the game audio, and the second layer was my commentary. Third is obviously my co-commentator's commentary and stuff. Or my guest's commentary. Well, that ended up turning up to be a failure. Resulting to be a failure because the computer for some reason, the system was lagging during recording. I mean, the first minute I synchronized the audio, both layers of audio, I synchronized it, and then all of a sudden you play like another 2 minutes of the footage or so, it gets desynchronized for some reason. And that's when the computer was like continuously lagging. So obviously there was like a bunch of frame skippage, and I couldn't deal with that audio. I couldn't deal with the 2 layers of audio plan, so I had to just go to plan B, just use 1 layer to record the footage. No, the game audio and my commentary, which means I have to get up to the mic, speak loud and clear, and hopefully it will pick up my commentary as well as the game footage. I mean, as equal as it sounds. As they both sound. Well, I did a terrible job of that because at certain parts you couldn't hardly understand what I was saying, so thankfully I do know what I was saying. You probably might not, but don't worry, I can fix that by using subtitles to just to have you understand what I was really saying in my mouth. Through my mouth, I don't know what I'm saying. Just to give you an understanding what I was trying to say there. So really, those were the 2 main issues. Oh, and another issue which was pretty funny, but you'll find that out when you play the video. I thought it was hilarious. I decided to just keep it in. I'm not going to edit it out. I think it's worth watching. My reaction when someone interferes. When something interrupts the recording. Ironically, it's not a person, it's something else, of a different species. Anyways. So, after I think... So yeah, another video, I'll go up there and do another test video of Luigi's Mansion. I won't be bursting the audio all the way up so you can hear it. It's just going to be playing the game and showing you how quality will look after I've fought around with the settings. And I pretty much, as for the brightness issue, I pretty much might have figured out the problem. All I had to do was up the brightness on the screen and the contrast setting. So by 5 bars, that might have fixed the problem. But it's pretty much impossible to have perfect color settings that are being shown from screen with your own eyes to have it similar to the camera's point of view. So, yeah, maybe the brightness will still get out of control, I don't know, but from what I saw, it doesn't seem to be so much of a concern anymore. I mean, I'll still pay attention to it, um, but from the most part, from what I noticed, there doesn't seem to be a big issue where the character doesn't seem to be in complete brightness, where you don't even know what he's supposed to look like. Um, so that's that, and yeah, this is really much of a video today, unlike last week's, but I didn't really have much to say at this point. And right, the last thing is I want to give a shout out to the students at my, well, actually friends, I should say, at my school, and it's kind of a funny story. I'll get to the funny story first. So Wednesday, it was just a pretty normal day. I was in history during school. It was during her history, which was my 5th period, which we call it hour, but it doesn't really make any difference. Anyways, so during 5th hour was my history class, and usually that class, it's a bunch of shenanigans going around. People hate the teacher because he doesn't teach, and he doesn't think he is, like, a good teacher to be a history teacher or whatever. They think he's just being a child and stuff. I don't know. But for the most part, just a bunch of shenanigans going on. And so, and just to point out, this is something that, or just to take note of, I did not witness this happen. I was actually trying to take a little nap, so you could get me in trouble for using drugs or something, which I don't ever use. Anyways, so I was just trying to take a little nap because I was tired, which is usually about that time when I sleep. So, not surprising. People do sleep in there too because it's history. It's kind of a boring class. But this is something unusual that happened. I mean, I've never expected this to happen. I mean, usually people just rant in that class, talk nonstop. That's usually the normal thing that goes around, but this was something completely different. From what I am told, like again, I did not witness this at all. From what I was told, that someone hit the broom, or hit a teacher with a broom, the broom side sticking out, and hit him in the face or something like that. And then at another point, someone had sprayed him with, I mean, I don't even know how it happened, but with more detailed, but from what I was told, that someone sprayed him with a cleaning substance. I'll just give you an example. It wasn't really this kind of spray, but just to relate to it, it was Mr. Clean. Now, just remember, that's not the cleaning utensil that was sprayed. It's just an example to be similar. But I'll just use it as that for now on for the story. So yeah, some substance of Mr. Clean got into his eye, and so that pretty much could damage his eye. But luckily he didn't. But luckily his eye has recovered, and so nothing to worry about. He's fine. But it was pretty hilarious to them. To me, I didn't really notice it, so really didn't put much of humor into that, or get the joke at all. I don't know. So that's when I started hearing rumors that someone had recorded that whole scene, and they pointed out fingers to people at first the day it happened. They said it was this girl, they said it was that person, because they all had their cell phones out that record high quality videos. As you know, everything like records in high quality HD videos nowadays. The cell phones, like, for example. But that's not the case. And then after the next day, the next day, and this was a big shock to me, because they blamed me for recording that whole scene. I'm like, what? How? Why? Why are you blaming me for this? I had no motive to do so. So the teacher just starts being all cocky and puts suspicion on me and saying like, I know everything. I am part of FBI or CIA. Yeah, I highly doubt that. I mean, that's not your job. Your job is to do what you are told. Give us assignments, teach us history and stuff like that. Not be part of a secret military group or whatever. Or a secret government agency. There we go. Excuse me. But yeah, at first he accuses me for doing it during that day. I'm like, why? I didn't even have my cell phone turned on during that day. And plus, I have an alibi for sleeping in class. So no reason of blaming this on me. And the worst thing is that all the other students accused me of doing it as well. And so I'm like, screw you guys. You know nothing of what happened. You know nothing of what I was doing. And so, first I was going to be like, do you have any evidence to back up this claim? And I didn't really say that, because lots of things were happening here and there, so. But luckily, I did get a nice girl who defended me, so that's pretty nice. I wasn't really the only one defending myself. But it was nice that I had a friend to defend me as well. So we got that cleared up. I had an alibi, I was sleeping, so I did not witness it. I only witnessed what happened after the Mr. Clean spray was in his eye. It's not really Mr. Clean. I can't remember what the name of it is. I'm just relating to something similar. So after we got that cleared up, then we actually find the real culprit, which was the person sitting right in front of me. And here's proof. I actually caught a glimpse of him recording the footage that was located in his save file. So I saw him playing back the scene of what happened. And so far, at first, I just saw the teacher fighting against, or rather pushing, I guess you could say defending against himself against this girl with a broom, and so he was like pushing her back. That's when I first realized that it was actually him. He's the one who recorded this scene. So he was in the first row, or the first person in my row, and he somehow got the whole scene. Like I said, I didn't see it, so I was sleeping. But what confused me is why they accused me. Didn't they see me, like, lowering my head and taking a nap or whatever? I mean, usually that means you're accused of being drugged, but not in this case. I was just tired. I probably didn't get enough sleep that night. I can't remember much, or how long I slept, or how many hours I slept before going to school on Wednesday. But what I can tell you is that I witnessed nothing. I only witnessed what happened after that. So yeah. And then at that point, that's when crap, what was it? I'm trying to figure out what word I should say. That's when I point out, there we go. Sorry. I point out that I have a YouTube channel, and that's when people started looking me up immediately, and they were like, show us some of the funniest videos that you have, and blah 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 blah. What do you do on YouTube? I do Let's Plays of games and stuff like that. So, I'm assuming that if you guys are watching this video, I appreciate it if you could spread the word, and to show your support to me, if you don't have a YouTube account, you could make one and subscribe to me. I would really appreciate that, because that just shows you, I guess, shows you how much of a friend I would, how much of a friend you actually are to me. So, and also thank you to the girl who defended me during class. I also appreciate that as well. I'm not naming any people, so don't go trying to look their name up and trying to murder them or whatever. Besides the point, I really, just again, I appreciate you doing that, and I hope you do enjoy my future Let's Plays and, what have you. Not what have you, or whatever video I might have. I hope you enjoy my humor, because I am getting better at doing that. I used to be serious at first, but now I'm just starting to be more of a laid off, well, not laid off, but more of a funny comedy person. You'll understand what I mean whenever you're watching the Sonic Adventure DX. That was probably my best recording I've done. One of the best. Excuse me. Yes, belching is one of the things of being a comedy person. You have to belch during your videos. And voice acting. Oh man, I can't wait to do that. Voice act in one of my videos, and a certain Let's Play that is required for voice acting. So, can't wait for that. Still not gonna reveal what the new Let's Play is. And I'll give you another hint. It's a blind Let's Play, so I've never played it before. So one of them is that footage I sent way back in a channel update. That was another test video. That was like a test video. And this one, I might have already given you that hint. I don't know. But it's a blind LP, so I don't know. I don't have any experience with this game. That's pretty much about it. Just to recap, I'm going to be showing you another test video of Luigi's Mansion. Just give you the quality of the picture and to figure out if I've fixed the brightness on the screen or not. We'll see. Or from the camera that keeps adjusting it randomly. And the shout out for my friends at school. Please support me if you would like. And if you enjoy my videos, subscribe just to show me your support. Oh, and one more thing, I do have a Twitter account, so if you want to keep updated with me and all the latest news about me, I guess, about what's going on, just follow me on Twitter at Mr. Afroman20, which is the same as my YouTube channel. Let's see. I think that's about it. I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah. And I've also recorded my first recording session of my Sonic Adventure DX with a co-commentator. Excuse me. I told you the story that happened during that event on Wednesday. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching. This is Mr. Afroman20 signing out. I'll see you guys later.